Yeah. But like onto what you were saying, my guy was saying about, you know, he's got to make the 9 to 5 out of, you know, 95 wage out of hip hop. But it gets to a point where obviously you sound like, you know, you know what way you're going towards in hip hop. You know what you're talking about. But what's happened now is that your way ain't gonna sell. That's what history and that's what now we witness has come about. Your way's not selling anymore. So it's either where, like, if you're spitting conscious or even if you're spitting semi-conscious, because right now mainstream hip hop there's no consciousness in it at all. Understand? So the question isn't fame versus integrity. It's like, how far are you willing to bend down?
In terms of like whether or not there are UK hip hop artists who have ever gone on to make money from the music they produce, I think there have been UK hip hop artists. Whether or not they still make UK hip hop, Estelle started off as a female UK hip hop artist who is now successful in the United States and in the UK. People might feel like she doesn't really rap no more, all of that. But at some point she started off from UK hip hop and her music has evolved into something else now. So I think there are examples of people from the UK who have made successful careers. I don't think we can limit or state where someone is going to arrive or end up, because we don't know. The way that music works and industry, like the way that music works in terms of popular, what was popular, what will be popular, is ever evolving and ever changing. So you never know. All people can really do is make music that is true to their own identity. Because when you try and copy music other people make, that's when you're probably most likely to fail. Whereas if you stick with what you like and what you believe in, it might become popular, it might not, but at least you've always made something that you believe in. In terms of this concept of integrity, I think that depends on the person. Personally, I don't think that you have to be like, I'm a conscious rapper to say your music has integrity. Make music you believe in. If you believe in your music, if you believe in the sound, if you believe in your lyrics, and that's the message you want to push, irrespective of what perspective you're coming from, you're entitled to that perspective.
I'm from Chicago, so I don't know too much about the UK scene. But what I do want to say is that I know hip-hop in the States and then from Chicago is definitely from an oppressed people. And I think we can agree, I don't know, am I right, that you feel like it might have come from the oppressed people? And with that, we have to be very conscious of the way that we're going to carry this, because we know over and over, time and time again, it's being manipulated by people who have control. So we have to be conscious of what we're doing with this art form. So if it is about the music, like you were saying, if it is about the music, then it needs to be taking different angles. Like we need to, as DJs, get together and teach it to the children maybe. Maybe it doesn't have to be this one direction in which we think is the best by getting signed or having albums even. Maybe it's really just about sitting with the youth and being like, here's your history, here's what's going on, this is what hip hop looks like, where it's going, where it's been, and where you can, the possibilities are endless, you know.
Hip hop came from, and this is fact, it came from the party, alright? It was a party thing. It started off with man rapping over funk breaks and going, my DJ's the best. Do you know what I mean? They weren't going, fight the power. I respect that, but where it came from is the party, right? So, you know what I mean? I personally don't have a problem with mans that make party music. 50 Cent, I think he's a great artist. I disagree with them saying there's no consciousness in mainstream hip hop. If you listen to Kanye West lyrics, he's talking about real stuff. Do you know what I mean? His turmoil with fame, how he hates it, the problems that he's been through with his mother dying, etc. So all I'm saying is, I feel sometimes what holds back the mentality here is everyone's just like, oh, fuck that, fuck this, fuck that. When we should be embracing it. We should be going to where Dizzy Rascal's performing and bringing our crew, and then slowly the two will integrate and you will have the diversity. Do you know what I mean?
Hip hop is a way for me to express myself. So if I want to be a bad man, and I'm talking some bad man, Nick man down lyrics, that's fair enough still. Do you know what I mean? As far as this is what I believe in. But like the other point someone else made, like if I'm trying to, do you know what I mean, copy what someone else did, and that's what I feel like like, look, this whole music thing, look at this Nicki Minaj and Drake and all their songs. Yeah, I like Drake. But I've got my daughter's 5. They're kids, and the way their songs sings, yeah, it's the kids who buy this music. Yeah? You understand what I'm saying? So I don't care what no one says, yeah. If you've got kids and your kids are singing some dumb lyrics, yeah, do you know what I mean? And you're calling it, you're an idiot.
Having been in and around music for a long time, and you know, a lot of DJs here, and you know, like get certain tracks through, and why does something sell and why does something not? And I think from in terms of this kind of balance, what people need to realise is that in terms of like reaching a certain level, if you want to kind of step up out of a little scene, you want to, you know, sell more records, there has to be a compromise in your music if it's not sounding palatable. So you can either sell 100% to your audience of 50, or you can sell, you know, to an audience of 50,000 or 1 million. But that will mean that you need to do certain things like put a chorus in there, put something that a girl can listen to, rather than otherwise you're just going to sell to a young 14-year-old because that's what he likes to hear.